Boundaries and elimination diets. How in the world are those connected? I've struggled with digestive issues my whole life. And about 10 years ago, when I was still married, my then husband was tired of hearing me complain. And so he said, "You need to go to the doctor and figure out what's wrong with your stomach." Well, I went to the doctor and we ran every test imaginable, and they said, "You're fine." Of course, I knew I wasn't because I'd been dealing with this pain my whole life and it was getting worse. FYI, childhood trauma and toxic relationships can cause digestive issues. Anywho, I give up on the doctors because they're clearly not helping me. And so I go to an extreme, right? I've tried everything else. I go to this extreme. I try a very intense elimination diet called GAPS. And I slowly start adding things back in. And my body is letting me know loud and clear it does not like almost everything I'm adding back in. And so I learned a lot about myself, about my body and what it could tolerate and what it couldn't, what made me feel good and what made me feel bad. And I was able to tailor a diet specific to me. And when I stuck to that diet, I haven't stuck to it in a while, but when I stuck to it, I felt better than I'd ever felt in my entire life. Now, life and kids and single mom and work and all the things it's a lot and it's hard sometimes to take care of ourselves the way we need to. But it taught me a really valuable lesson about figuring out what feels good and what feels bad, honoring that, and the result if you stick to it. And so an elimination diet is really just a way of figuring out what kind of healthy boundaries our individual body needs to feel its best. And when we talk about boundaries, a lot of times, we talk about them in terms of like saying no to other people and not allowing certain behaviors or energy in our life. But I want you to really focus on the boundaries that we set with ourselves, because that's where we're going to get the biggest bang for our buck. That's where we're going to see real change. It's also the hardest to do because it's so much easier to look at somebody else and know what they need to do to fix their life than it is to look at ourselves and figure out what we need to do to feel better. So let's eliminate some shit from our lives. Let's eliminate things that might be bogging us down and then slowly try adding those things back in and see what makes you feel good and what makes you feel bad. Love you. Have a great day.